Starting to the bottom right with a 1-0 lead in the best of 3 series here at the second round of the Challenger League.
Jin Air Green Wings True.
Pretty awesome keyword, by the way.
Yeah.
Starting to the top left, we have his opponent, the water Pokemon for Team LGIM.
LGIM Squirtle.
I was so close to say Starcraft.
Well, he used to be for a long time, in fact. It's where he got known. Had his disagreements, and then decided to move to a new team. And here comes a very early drone scout, just making sure that nothing weird is happening.
Yeah. It's getting very early in the game.
Or maybe he's going to do something like a hatchery at the natural. I could see that. I mean, the way he's moving this drone is a little bit strange.
Yeah.
Oh, or a hatchery
Cats,
right
is
here.
it you?
Cats, is it you?
Cats actually turned Asian and snuck into the booth. You know,
This is definitely a forward hatchery.
He waited until he had the minerals. Somebody tweeted Cats and tell him that he has to tune in right now. This is something that he wants to see. We have True going for a proxy hatch at his opponent's natural.
And Squirtle is going for a gateway build.
This is not what we saw ST do in his games at WCS America. And ST was going into hatch first and then pool and then another hatch at his opponent's natural to delay it. But this hatch is going to go through.
Yeah. He has not started his pool yet, but he will very soon. Cybernetics Core is on the way already. And Squirtle still doesn't know about this. No scout whatsoever.
You know, back in the days we had when THX came out for in the cinemas, we had the monkeys are listening, and now we have Cats is watching. Because that's definitely happening here. Here comes another hatch. He's going into double hatch before pool. And let's see how Squirtle is going to react. But first of all, he has to scout it.
Yeah, he's going to see this with his first out, it looks like. But it's very, very delayed. And True... No way. Is he going to go 3 hatchery before pool?
It looks like it, and you know why? Because... Oh my god, this is just epic. The guy is actually going for triple hatch before pool. And this is because he thinks, and it's actually a really good thought process, he thinks, okay, the first thing that's going to happen here, you have no scout on the map right now. So you will see my hatch at your natural, and then the only thing that you will be occupied with is taking that hatch down. So I have so much time that I can get another hatch out there at the bottom left and then go into pool. He would have never done this if he had seen a probe scout scouting his main base.
He also,
never ever.
Yeah, never ever. And he also knows that there's no forge, so any of his bases will not be cannoned, even without a pool. He doesn't have to worry about that. This is not a concern of his at this moment in time. Squirtle is in an awkward position for sure, and he doesn't even know just how awkward it is at this moment in time.
His expansion, Squirtle's expansion, is going to be so delayed. It's not only about taking down that hatch, at the same time you have to wait until the creep is gone. And Squirtle is now in a position where he's like, okay, well, do I actually build that base, or do I just try to one-base him?
Yeah, he has to make a decision. He's going to lose his probe, it looks like. And maybe even a Zealot. He tries to... Well, that was a little bit weird. Maybe try to go for the Stalker there. Takes out some good points, though. Good micro. And this is, for Squirtle, he's probably actually thinking about adding the 4th gate and going in for it. And you know, that could work against the build that True has done here, but I don't think he's going to do it.
There comes the Forge, and, well, True has shown us the balls of steel. He put them on the table, and he just said, Sub-Sun. And right now, we have a 3-base Zerg player against a 1-base Protoss. Speed is coming up, of course. He needs that desperately. He needs scouting information right now, but the position that True is in is simply amazing.
Yeah. Right now, he's probably really annoyed that he keeps getting the attack notification on his larva. It takes forever to kill those. He finally gets those down. But, like you said, everything back at home going normally for him. He has speed done. He only mined 100 gas. Or not speed done, but speed started. He only mined 100. Pulled out so he can get enough resources for extra lings.
Oh.
And I think he's going to do a very aggressive follow-up here.
Squirtle, I would love if he gets aggressive here. He kind of has to do something.
He has to do something.
He doesn't know what's going on, so first of all, he needs to find out what's happening here. Then he wants to take down that 3rd base, because this is the one weakness that True currently has. But True is getting Zerglings out again, a massive amount of them.
Yeah, 24 more lings, 26. And this little pressure play over here on the left side of the map is going to get smacked down like a salmon out of the water.
He doesn't even have +1 yet.
Nope. He's just trying to be as aggressive as quickly as possible as he can. And as soon as this is spotted, the Lings are going to redirect, and he's going to have a tough time, to say the least.
That build is just crazy. He plays this kind of safe with everything that he has. There are so many queens, so many Zerglings right now. And he's going to scout this. Here comes the Mothership Core. We have the units. He's waiting for the +1. Back at home, we have the sentry with the force field. There is no cannon. Not a single cannon.
No cannon, and he has to force field again, but he doesn't have any more sentries. This means he has to warp in units at home and set it for the attack. There's the recall. That's going to help him out a little bit here, warping in 3 sentries.
They recall into the main base, of course, because he doesn't have the natural expansion done yet. So this is just horrible for Squirtle. He lost the Mothership Core energy, he had to go home, he didn't do any damage at all, and now True is in a position where he can be like, well, I'm just going to drone right now,
I'm just going to drone right now, I guess, because you're stuck in your base. You're on the defensive at the 8:30 mark. You lost your pylon. Okay. You lost your probe.
That build is mind-blowing. I love this. So much mind games going on here. And really him seeing, okay, no third base for my, no probe on the map for my opponent to scout. I'm gonna go triple hatch before pool. And then he played it so safe after this. He attacked, he knew either I'm gonna force him to get units or I'm gonna force him back because he wants to attack me. And as long as I make sure that I have the map control, I can, behind this, drone up on 3 bases and I will be in such a good spot.
Yeah. He has enough Lings now to totally control Squirtle's movements. He knows that Squirtle's thinking, okay, I'm so behind, I have to do an attack. So for him, he's just keeping the map control. If Squirtle sits back on his base and doesn't attack, then that's totally fine with True because he's ahead already. If he does attack, he's already ready to spot it with his Zerglings.
Squirtle cannot be happy about this position.
No.
But look at his amount of sentries that he has there.
That is right now 9 sentries. That's a Kespa sentry level.
And there's the cannon, but he needs more than that. Okay, here comes the sentry, more warping in immediately. Zerglings have spotted what's going on. We have the pylon, or 1 pylon still to the left side of the map. He can get the Zealots out. The Zealots have +1.
They do. And the Roach Warren is not quite done yet. It's getting closer.
He should be able to get those roaches out. And this is, of course, what Squirtle was hoping for. That this is not going to happen. He was hoping for no Roach Warren being present.
Yeah, these Lings are going to have an easy time against these Zealots, but it's the sentries and the rest of the Zealots that get warped in early that are going to be the problem. Squirtle definitely has a chance to make this work, actually.
Yep. He could take down the space, and he can always recall. Here come those Zealots, the sentries. Everything is moving in. The time of immediately being dropped by Squirtle. He's moving in. The Spine Crawlers is not ready just yet. The second one just now finishing. More and more force fields coming out. The Zerglings are trapped here, and most of the Roaches as well. Good job by Squirtle so far, but still a 20 supply lead for True.
20 supply lead, a lot of this in drones. Don't forget, he's trying to use those to fight. Here come the Lings from behind. He needs to use force fields there, which means the Roaches can come from the right side. Excellent force feeds, but still, it looks like True may have too much.
The pylons are gone. He killed the pylons. There are no warp in points anymore for Squirtle.
He has to recall.
He needs to recall out. He cannot do anything about this anymore.
He has to recall.
will survive.
He's waiting until the last second here. Recalls. Wow. And worker count now 44 to 48, relatively even.
Yeah, still relatively even. I'm amazed how Squirtle is still able to stay in this game. You know, with this build, he made so many good choices, but every single time it looked like True is shutting him down immediately and already is 1 step ahead. True also has like the Lair Tech and the Spire now coming up, but Squirtle, he's still believing in his chances to take this game. He's trying whatever he can. He's making a lot of good decisions here, but True is just, he's everywhere.
He is. And I have concerns for Squirtle still because of the Spire, because he's going into Robotics Tech. Obviously, he's getting Blink out as well. Will help him a little bit. His Stalker count is only at 7, and he's been relying a lot on Sentries. And for him, he's scouted the Spire. So how is he going to respond? That's the biggest question. Is he going to go into his own Phoenixes, or what is he going to do?
We have him with Blink, and if he goes into a Dark Shrine. You know, that's actually a really cool idea.
Because he can also make Archons.
Exactly, he could make the Archons, that's going to help him. But also the DTs alone, if unscouted, he could actually just try to sneak a few in. We do not see a lot of Spore Crawlers in this game. I actually don't know if we have one at all. I think I saw one. No, not a single one. Of course he can get those Overseers, but keep in mind, if you have 3 DTs and they attack a hatch, even if you morph that Overseer on top of the hatch that is being attacked, it will go down.
Yeah, that's true.
3 is the magic number.
We'll see if he can get a pylon out. So far, it doesn't look like he's going to have a very close one. I like the Dark Shrine because the Archons are still a viable thing for him to make as part of his army.
Look how many Roaches we currently have for True. That actually means that potential Mutalisks are going to be so delayed here for him. He invested a lot of gas into this.
Yeah. It also may throw Squirtle off a little bit because Squirtle's expecting fast Muta since he's scouted. And In this particular case, it doesn't matter all too much because Squirtle hasn't defended or put a ton of money into his defenses. But he could actually find himself sandwiched here. There is enough energy for a recall.
This is such a cool game. I love this game. The builds that we see, the resilience of Squirtle.
Well, this hatchery is definitely going to be cancelled, but will Squirtle lose his army for it? He needs the recall. Where's the recall?
There it is. Loses not a single cent.
This is really nicely done by him.
Warp Prism.
Great
choice here for him. Great choice. Not for the DTs for once, but also later on. As long as we don't have Mutalisks on the map, he can do a lot with this. And look at the positioning here for the Observer. He sees everything that's happening, so he's getting his units out immediately. He's just reinforcing his army. He has a double Immortal already. This game is just so awesome.
Now, if you look at the supply alone, it looks like, well, Squirtle can't possibly hold this, but his composition and all the cannons he has, plus all the sentries, he can hold this, and he most likely will. This is just a pressure play by True. He is, yes, massively ahead in supply, but his composition...
Oh, we have the sandwich! He's moving in the sentries with the force fields. Good force fields so far. A burrow at the top. I don't think he realized that. He's trying to take down those reinforcements, but the Immortals so far doing a lot of damage to his opponent's army.
A ton of force fields had to be used, though, and they are... He's basically out of energy here. And now he comes up from the left side. The Immortal's being targeted. The Colossus is a fake, and True calls his bluff. He's not targeting it here.
He's not targeting it at all.
14 meters on the way behind this. There are DTs being warped in at the Warp Prism on the right side of the map. He's just going to put those in the main base now.
DTs in the main base, trying to just help out here and taking down as many units as humanly possible. And of course, True by now realizing what's going on, immediately moving back and also morphing his Overseers. Here comes the DT in the main base, taking down a couple of those drones as fast as he can, but only the main base being attacked.
Yeah, and he's not losing very many Harvesters at all. 30 more Lings on the way. The Queen may be assassinated here. Depends on the micro from True, but this is a decent position for Squirtle, even though he lost a lot during that fight. He has to be able to deal with those Mutalisks, though, and I think he should make these into Archons right now.
The Mutalisks, this is going to be the most painful thing for him to deal with. So many cannons at the third base. Can he make that happen? In the main, the DT is being taken out, and here comes Squirtle. He needs to save that third. He needs to do something about it.
He needs Archons in his army. He could do so much against the Lings and the Mutas with Archons. The Muta's actually fighting here. He has Blink, yes, but there's not a lot of Stalkers.
Squirtle needs an incredible miracle now. He's moving in and taking out so many of the Mutalisks. Now the rest of them are moving in.
And here comes the Overseer.
The third base is not down just yet. Those DTs, yep, they're out of luck now that the Overseer is in the game, and those Immortals, they are also not shielded anymore. Yeah,
those DTs did a lot for Squirtle before the Overseer was ready, but now that it's here, they're all going to drop like flies. And he's fighting with the Mutalisks. He knows there's just not a whole lot of Stalkers here, and if he can break through, he can end the game.
But great micro. That DT is actually still alive in the main base. Oh my god, a 30 supply lead here for True, but is Squirtle being able to come back? The third is now being attacked. I don't think that he can save the Nexus here.
No,
but
definitely
not. He took down so much.
He took down a lot. The Nexus falls, and now these Stalkers are exposed. He has to blink. He has a few reinforcing Stalkers.
Yeah, he has a few of them moving in, and he's using his blink to his best abilities. But, you know, he killed so much, but I just don't think it was enough.
Yeah, and the thing is, he has to now face the Remax and Roaches. Upgrades right now, +2 Roach attack, +1 Mutas, 2-1 for Squirtle. He does have that very important armor upgrade, and he's continuing to try to use these DTs. His Warp Prism, still alive, but being chased down by one Mutalisk, and that's all it takes to chase a Warp.
Squirtle is in a position where he desperately needs to get his third up, but he knows that he also has to move out and do some damage since there is a fourth for his opponent, but if he does that, then his third is exposed, so he doesn't really know what to do in this position, and I don't know what he possibly could. He's trying his best, but True, he just doesn't stop. The guy is relentless. He's moving in with another set of units.
There's no wall.
And there's no wall. He's moving in.
The Immortal is dead, and it targeted here, and the Roaches, yeah, they get split in half. There is a Mothership Core to help out, but True doesn't have to end the game here. He's just doing a little bits of damage here and there, and Squirtle falls further and further behind. Now he's actually just trading against the Stalkers. That's how he feels at this moment in time. He's like, well,
True.
What are you going to do?
Is doubling his opponent's supply. The guy turned on the boss mode. He showed us the balls of steel with his opening. He had triple hatch before pool, and now he's taking out so many units of Squirtle. He's trading here, and he has a much better economy. He could go into a phase now if he wanted to, and it's an incredible position for him to be in. Yeah, it's nearly unlosable.
Squirtle, to be honest, I don't know what he can do in this game to try to get back. Of course, he's going to try since he's down, a game in the series. If he loses, it's all over for him. He has to go the up and down. So he's going to try to stick into this one. And so far, he's put up a hell of a fight. But
Oh yeah, he did.
at this moment in time, there's no way for him to turn the tide of battle. He just has to sit and pray and try to defend. The Roaches have burrow movement now, so they can just go right underneath any force fields they face.
That's just too many. If he had a few Immortals, he could maybe hold a little bit longer, and those Roaches, they get worse over time. But at this point, there's such a flood of units, and here comes the burrow movement. He's going right in. There's no detection, and here it comes. This has to be the last blow to Squirtle's defense. This is just not going to happen. The time warp, I don't know what that's going to achieve.
It's
this game is over.
This game is so over. DT Warpin's not going to change the tide of battle either. Dancing the Roaches, GG. And true, takes a 2-0. I think a lot of people were expecting a better showing from Squirtle here, but it did not happen.
Well, it was an amazing performance by True, I have to say, though. He got so far ahead in this game right from the beginning. This opening was amazing, and Squirtle was definitely shaken by it. So, good job here by True, advancing to the 3rd round of the Challenger League. And Squirtle, very surprisingly, finds himself now in the up and downs.
Yeah, he had a few opportunities that he didn't realize. For example, his ability to be aggressive early on. He didn't actually utilize that after his hatchery he saw the hatchery, the natural. Shots to the crowd here.
Yeah, a lot of True fans in the studio.
Yeah, a lot. And they're all just waiting to get maybe see him and talk to him for a little bit, have a chat after his win.
Guys, that was a crazy series. The opening that True used in game number 2 was just great, and of course on Anaconda he really played towards the strengths of the map. Protoss a little bit weak, especially at the natural. So very well prepared match.
Yeah, very well prepared. Really good builds that we saw from him. So now we're going to shift gears back though to the Terran versus Zerg.
Exactly. We have the next game coming up. This is of course Roro up against Dream. That's going to happen after a short 5-minute break. Our 3rd best of 3 of the day. So guys, stay tuned. We'll be back in a few with Roro up against